What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Eve. Today is Friday, January 6th. It's about 7 a.m., almost 7 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to tell you guys the story of Nick's care with SINAI Hospital after a recent stroke. Now, we are still in the middle of this story. The story is still developing, but we are at a point now where I'm pulling him out of SINAI. So we're coming to a little bit of a closure today. And I wanted to begin to share the story of the 8 weeks that he's been there. So he went into the hospital on November the 12th. Next week will be 8 weeks on January 12th. And I apologize for my throat. It sounds like I'm coming down or something. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him, flew in and everything. And today, I have a sore throat. My uvula feels like it's swelling. So, let me start at the beginning. So, on November the 12th, Nick was visiting his dad in Baltimore. He flew in, visited his dad. They were going to talk about some family planning stuff. And his brother was there as well. Unfortunately, while he was there, he and I were on the phone, having a conversation. He was sitting in a parking lot, just, talking to me. And he says, damn, I feel like I have a headache all of a sudden. I was like, but he sounded kind of listless when he said it. And I was like, are you okay? Like, where are you right now? So he told me where he was. And then I'm like, the way your breathing is changing, you sound like you're either having a panic attack or like something is happening. Do I need to send somebody for you? And then he kind of like got really distant and I heard the phone drop. So I'm calling out to him. And he didn't answer. I wonder if I have a video that explains this in real time. Hold on one second. If I do, I'll just share the video fresh in real time. If not, I'll come back and continue to explain. Y'all, I'm at the airport. And I need to record this right now while I still have my shit. It's about 4 o'clock in the, what time is it? It's 3:50. Anyway, as we're having the conversation, he says, I'm starting to have a bad headache. And I could tell like his breathing had changed. And I'm like, babe, you need to take some breaths because it sounds like you're having a panic attack. So he doesn't say anything for a minute. I'm like, babe, where are you? Where are you right now? And he's like, I'm at the Home Depot. I'm like, the Home Depot where? The one by your house? He's like, yeah, I'm up the street. Then he got real far away, and it sounded like maybe he put the phone down on the chair or something. And so I was like calling him. Like I gave him a minute, and then I started calling him like, babe, are you okay? Babe. He wasn't saying nothing. Then I heard the door open. I thought maybe he was getting out of the car so that he could, just take some air or whatever so he could get himself together. All of a sudden, I hear a guy. And he's like, hey, man, like, do you need help? Like, are you okay? You good? You good? I don't hear Nick responding to him. So the guy's like, yo, like, are you all right? Like, you bleeding. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? So I start yelling. I start yelling, hey, 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 I'm on the phone, I'm on the phone. Like, who are you? Can you tell me what's going on? I was on speakerphone the whole time, thank God. So the guy heard me. And he's like, I'm trying to help this dude, man. I'm trying to help this dude. I'm like, listen, I'm his wife. I was on the phone with him while all this happened. Like, what happened? He said, I seen him swerving. I don't know if he was swerving on the road or if he was swerving in the parking lot, because I thought he was parked at Home Depot. Apparently he was driving. He said, yeah, I seen him swerving. And then he got into an accident. So I'm like, is he okay? He's like, I don't know. So I'm like, okay. I need to call like the ambulance. He's like, ma'am, the ambulance is already on their way. So I guess somebody else saw it or whatever and called the police. Then I hear a lady in the background. And she's like, you know, who are you talking to or whatever. The dude is like, you know, this is his wife. Like, I'm talking to his wife. And she gets on the phone with me. And she's like, yeah, you know, he's not doing good. He can't hardly talk to us. The ambulance is on their way. Like, I'm going to stay on the phone with you until the ambulance gets here. You know, does he live nearby? And I'm like, yeah, like his family live over in Janville. She was like, oh, I don't live far from Janville. She asked me, like, do you want me to go around the corner and, like, let your family know that he's there? Yes, please do that. So she stays on the phone with me. The ambulance finally get there. I talk to people in the ambulance. I let them know what happened, give them my contact number and everything. Meanwhile, I'm texting my sister-in-law, like, you need to have my brother-in-law get over there right now, because they're all visiting. They're all there. I'm like, you need to get him up there right now. So she's like, okay. So she calls my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is en route. Finally, the medic and everything is like, look, we're going to transfer him to the hospital because he's kind of unresponsive. But he is awake, you know, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine. So then I'm taking him to SINAI Hospital. Get to the hospital. I get a call from neurology. Nick had a stroke. They did some scans. They determined that he had a deep blood bleed, so a hemorrhagic stroke. And he's bleeding from his brain right now.
Customers on American Flight 2257 in service to Charlotte, when your group number is called, if your seat number is 21 and higher, please board using the rear stairs. Once again, if your seat number is 21 and higher, we do ask that you board using the rear stairs.
So I've been getting calls intermittently from the hospital
Group 2 customers, welcome to board flight 2257 service to Charlotte.
so that they can
Group 2 customers, welcome to board flight 2257 service to Charlotte.
So that they can ask me what they can do. So first they asked me, was it okay to intubate him because he can't breathe? I said yes. They said, is it okay to put in a tube to drain the blood off of his brain? I said yes. Then they called me back and they're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to put the tube in. We're going to need to do surgery. We're going to need to crack open his skull. We're going to need to put a hole in his skull. First they said open his skull. Then they were like, oh, we just need to make a hole in it to relieve the pressure on his brain because he's not responding to the medication to take the pressure down. I said, is there anything else less invasive that can be done? Like, I thought we were going to put in the tube. They're like, no, they feel like doing the surgery is going to be the best option because he's not responding well. And that's basically going to be his best chance of life. So I said, do it. I'm at the airport right now. I'm about to fly out in about an hour. I won't get there until 11 o'clock tonight. I have every prayer warrior that I can think of. Praying right now. And I just pray that he doesn't pass.
before I get there at all, but definitely not before I get there.
Okay, y'all, sorry. I had to find the clip and then rewatch it to determine if I needed to edit it in any way. That was rough to watch. So I'm a little emotional right now, again. Reliving that, rewatching that. Right now, at the 8-week mark, coming up on the end of the 8th week, I have a lot to say about the care that he's received at Sinai, and I have been videoing it the entire 8 weeks. I'm only able to travel up here like once every 2 weeks because I do have a child. I do have a child, even though he's a teenager, you know, he has to still be cared for. And down in the Virgin Islands, it's just us, you know, it's just the three of us, me, Nick, and him. I do have some friends who have been phenomenal in stepping in and supporting us by, you know, taking my son grocery shopping while I'm up here with Nick, and just checking in on him and things like that. So I come up every 2 weeks to visit. That's where I'm at right now, on my final run for Sinai, on my Harriet Tubman mission to smuggle my baby out of there. Because when I say that this has been a ride, like, I'm really trying to determine if this is even a malpractice situation, if I need to sue. Like, you'll see as you go along with me on this journey, some of the things, not all of the things, but some of the things that he's experienced. Because again, I'm not here to document every day, but you'll see some of the things. And I would love to have your comments. I would love to have your feedback along the way on what you think of the situation, and any way that you think that we can handle this going forward that may be helpful. So, yeah. Come on back, I guess, for part 2. This is like a Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events. So if that's like your shtick, if you like that type of content, or if you are considering Sinai Hospital for a loved one, or just any hospital in general, and you want to kind of see, you know, especially for a stroke patient, like things to be aware of, join me on this ride. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.